What is the one thing that you can do to make your current situation better? That was a question that one of my mentors asked in one of the trainings that he was doing. His name's Dean Graciosi. I know we have the same first name. That's pretty cool. But it was like, there was a time in his life when he was going through a divorce from his children's mom, and it was pretty painful because they had been through so much together already, and they got to a point where it was basically time to end the relationship, and they both knew it, and so they decided to do that, got a divorce. But through the process, there was obviously some pain, and I've been divorced before, so I get what that pain feels like. But then you have to consider the children, right? And so his thought around this was he wasn't really getting along with his ex-wife. They were just had differences of opinion on just about everything when it came to parenting and just how do you now live amicably now that you're not in the same household anymore and all those things. And his question to himself at the time was, because it had caused so much stress in his life, and you wake up thinking about this thing that's robbing you of your energy, and that means you can't serve those you're called to serve at the highest level you possibly could because you have this thing that's robbing you of your energy. And ultimately he said, what is the one thing that you could do right now that will completely and totally improve the situation in a significant way, have the biggest impact in the situation? What's the one thing you can do? And as he started to go through what that one thing could be, what he came up with was that he needed to be friends with his ex-wife. Now, that might sound like really simplified, oversimplified to you, but that's what he came up with. And so then all he had to do was start to dig deep into, okay, what does it take for me to be a friend? What does it take for me to be a friend? I need to be compassionate. I need to be understanding. I need to be empathetic. I need to be a good listener. I need to essentially do everything I can to accommodate without obviously violating my standards, right? And so he chose to become a better friend to her, even in the moments when she wasn't a good friend to him. And ultimately, it brought her across that line too. And now they have a pretty great relationship and they co-parent together pretty well. So you might be asking yourself, well, Dean, what does this have to do with me? I'm a stylist. I work in a salon. Why are you telling me this? Well, one of the biggest things that you face in the salon, especially when it comes to selling your products and services, and mostly on products, is you're going to face objections from clients about why they can't buy today or now or ever or whatever the case might be. And I'm always a big cheerleader of saying to you that you can double your retail sales in the next week, in the next 2 weeks, in the next month. You can 2x your profits on retail in the next 30, 60, 90 days, whatever that looks like. I teach this over and over again, and for the most part, it absolutely works for anyone who adopts the frameworks that I teach. If you adopt it, you practice it, you master it, it absolutely works. I've had plenty of students go through my training and they absolutely crush it on a daily basis in the salon without feeling salesy or feeling like they're being pushy, by the way. But this particular lesson of the one thing got me to thinking. What is the one thing? And this is, let's say you're just starting out selling retail, or you're low on the totem pole as far as how much retail you sell in terms of retail to service percentage, or you're crushing it right now. This is still going to apply to you because there's always room for improvement and you should always be chasing and pursuing your potential anyway. So this is going to help you regardless of what level you are as a person who sells services and products in a salon. And so the question becomes, then what is the one thing that you can do right now that would either totally eliminate or avoid or completely dilute and diffuse any objection that your clients might come up with? And as I was thinking about that, the light bulb went off and it hit me that the biggest objection in any sale is you. Yeah, I know, it sounds oversimplified. It sounds like, come on, Dee, we've heard this before, but think about it for a second. One of the examples that we always talk about when we train on retail is you're managing your client's wallet, right? So, but you're not really managing your client's wallet. When you're thinking about them not having the money or that they can't afford it, who are you really thinking about? Are you really thinking about them, or are you thinking to yourself because you can't afford it or because you don't think you'd spend the money on this particular product or service that you're offering them? That's why in your mind you have an objection to it and therefore you don't go there with them. So you project that outward to the client even though you have no idea what their status is as far as their finances go. So that objection is coming from you, right? Think about it. So let's look at another example then when we talk about the objection coming from you. Maybe you sold them something the last time, or you sold them a bunch of stuff, sorry about that plane, or you sold them a bunch of stuff last time and you're thinking to yourself that, man, I can't possibly sell them another thing this time. Even though you know that they need something else for a different problem that they're experiencing. Okay, because hair transitions over time, it evolves, different things happen based on what you do to it. And the objection you're running in your head, or the story of objection you're running in your head is, this is just too much. And for you, maybe it's like you don't like it when you feel like somebody's giving you too much stuff, like they're trying to get you to buy stuff over and over again. You're like, you're just basically using me, or just coming at it, whatever that looks like. It's like, you are in the headspace of, it's too much and therefore it's overwhelming and it's not fair and it sounds salesy and it feels pushy if I'm trying to push all this stuff on you, even if I know you need it, but I just feel like I'm being pushy, so therefore I'm not going to do it, because you wouldn't like to be in that situation where you felt like somebody was doing that to you. And so the objection again is coming from you. And let's talk about my favorite objection of the person saying that they could get it someplace else, whether that be on Amazon or because they're going to go shopping later, they could just pick up something at the store. And this by far to me is one of the craziest objections that we allow to slide in the beauty industry. And why is that? Well, first of all, you're the expert, right? Your clients don't come to you for your objectivity. They come to you for your subjectivity. You're the expert. And at the end of the day, if you're going to allow that objection to rattle you, then what is the story you're telling yourself? The objection in your mind must be that you're not good enough, right? You can't possibly be good enough for them to buy it from you right then and there because you're recommending it. You have an objection about your expertise or your skill set or your recommendation prowess or your mastery of what you do to recommend these amazing products that you have in your salon. You have an objection to who you actually are. You have an objection to the belief that you are the expert and that you're amazing and that this person is going to listen to you and accept your recommendations when you start or when you stop objecting to yourself as the expert into who you are. Because if you think about it, when somebody says they're going to get it someplace else or buy it someplace else or get it on Amazon or they'll get it when they go to the store, I have one thing only to say. First of all, I completely and totally know and believe that the products that are in my salon, when I used to, run my own salon, I didn't care about the products that were outside the salon, because at the end of the day, whatever is in this salon, we have it in here for a reason, because they work, we know they work, we guarantee them, we can stand behind them. So the same thing goes for you in your salon. That's the only thing that matters, the products you have in your salon. This is what I know works. This works because we've seen it work. We guarantee the results. And if it doesn't work for you, we'll take it back. That's it. That objection is obliterated and you're good as gold. All right. Anyway, just thought I'd bring you that message today. It's Dean here with Maria Neela, and I look forward to seeing you soon in your salon. Take care.